Hello and welcome back to the Miniatura YouTube channel and another Meet the Makers video. In this series we get to know the people that make Miniatura so special and find out more about their crafts. Chris from the Shepherd's Hut England was at the autumn show with his incredible miniature creations. Here he is to tell us more about how he got started and his passion for accurately and authentically recreating the items he models.
Hi, my name's Chris Moody and my company's theshepherdshutingland.com. I make small little shepherd's huts and full-size ones now and again on commission. I used to be a graphic designer and head of graphics for the Royal Shakespeare Company. That was where I finished up, and I went from doing graphics because I wanted to stop doing computers and started doing woodwork and carpentry. Then I got into restoring graded listed buildings, their windows and doors. So consequently I ended up making things in wood. And then as life goes on, I started making smaller and smaller things and started to think that maybe I could sell them. My wife's quite a famous sculptor, and she helped me to sort of make the molds and do the painting and things. And between the two of us, I've sort of started to do more and more miniature things for sale. I like to make them in the real materials as best I can. So wood is wood and metal is metal, terracotta is fire terracotta. And I make things usually by sketching them or photographing the real thing, and then making that into scale drawings, which are then just sort of make the decisions on how to make the materials work at a small scale, which is a problem in itself because obviously big materials don't really make little things quite easily. These are some of the things I make, all quite short run, limited sort of editions of things. In 1/12, I can't work any smaller. My background also meant that I had to sculpt, and so I can sculpt in 3D by hand rather than using digital technology. So I started to make things like the large urn here, which is made in white metal, the finished size, which is quite a heavy piece. And more recently I've made this greenhouse in 1/12 scale. That's got real bricks which have been handmade and then fired in a kiln, as have the octagonal floor tiles. And then I've laid the bricks as you would a real bricklayer on courses and in corners. I've made the hardwood frame. Somebody helped me actually machine that, but I've assembled it to a greenhouse that actually worked on the full-scale restoration of. And I've put in real glass and copper guttering. Making a miniature aga was the real challenge because I wanted to do them in metal, so I've had to scale down a full-size one, doing drawings and things, then make patterns of sculpting the shapes, and then from those shapes taking the molds, and then from the molds casting in metal, and then you clean the metal up and things. So that's been a difficult job because the full-size one in some parts is quite delicate, so transposing that to smaller is a bit of an issue. And then painting them to look like the real things. Finding the materials to sort of reproduce something smaller means you have to change something from the real material. Full-size gutters, for instance, are made in, they used to be lead or sometimes wood even, but most of them are cast iron. Well, it's nigh on impossible to cast iron really small without lots of equipment. So I had to find an easy way of doing it. So I basically, with the internet being so good now, you can search for materials that might do it, or even in some cases how other people have solved the problem. So I hit on using copper pipe, and finding tiny copper pipe isn't much of a problem now, but finding it in a certain size is, and it's got to then scale to 1/12. So if you scaled up a brick or a tile or a copper pipe, it actually would be the same as the full-size one. When I was working as a full-time sort of restorer and carpenter, I restored or worked on a barrel-shaped conservatory which has curved glass and metal frames. So my thinking is that I'd really like to make that next. So that would be a sort of one-off piece. But so at the moment I'm trying to work out how to make the cast iron frame. So that'll be done. I've got some ideas. I think I'll probably use railway track, model railway track, because that is the same shape as the frame, and then braze that together. So, and then I'll have to curve the glass for the roof. So that will have to be made on a former, put into a kiln, and then fired so that it droops onto the former to the shape. So that'll be the next sort of challenge, if you like. This is my second time doing Miniatura. I did the first one in the spring, and this one's been great. It's actually better again than the first one. Doing the first one, I've sort of got some ideas for things that I could make. So I've made like a range of terracotta pots and sort of brought those here, which have been a good seller. And got other ideas. The people are lovely. If you want to see some more of the work, either full-size huts or miniature ones, then if you go to www.theshepherdshutingland.com, and you can see some work there. And of course, on the Miniatura site, you'll see some of the miniature things that I make in more detail.
If you want to learn more about the Shepherd's Hut England or any of the other makers that attend the Miniatura show, then visit miniatura.co.uk. All the exhibitors have their own pages with loads of information about their products, plus there's details about the next show, and you can buy your tickets. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel for more videos and follow us on social media for lots more miniature inspiration. Thanks for watching, and we'll hopefully see you at the next show.